All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast as usual. I tell you what, let's get on with the show, shall we? Bubba's running a little behind today.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Misfit podcast. Today we have Zorn, your local host, and
I am TheCrashTestGenius, and I'm slurring my words. I'm Sean Connery. This is filmed immediately after one
Google Feud video that will come out before this.
Two, the fact that I lost like 20 minutes of audio, which is I feel so.
I'm so pissed at you motherfucker. I'm just kidding, not really. I'm more pissed at the technology, the fact that it did that on its own.
Well, currently, my wife. Here's my beautiful wife. Hello, water.
She's coming to supervise him because he is drunk as a skunk.
All sorts of snacks. This podcast.
Brighton, I am so sorry. I have got your husband drunk, and I do not mean to.
She's super hot.
I cannot answer that without inciting something bad.
All right, she's brought me not sponsored, but we got a bunch of snacks from Nature Box. We have crunchy barbecue twists.
And not sponsored. I'm still drinking Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire.
We have sweet and salty nut medley. That's what I gave her earlier today. Hey. And
the sex jokes. We are here.
Holy shit! How you doing, Zorn?
I'm doing good, man. Oh, I'm doing great. I got drunk real bad last night, and I'm getting tipsy tonight. It's a good thing. I feel like Gus Sorolla right now. I'm hosting a podcast and drinking.
This is at the end. So we went. So spoilers if you haven't seen the drunk podcast or whatever.
You mean the Google Feud?
The Google Feud. We went 0 and 10. So
just like my other one. So I'm 0-20. So yeah, that's about right.
I've had one meal today. I had my
that was stupid of you.
Over. We cooked a big meal, but it was around like 2 o'clock. So it's been a while since I've had food on my belly. So now those 10 shots have been uber potent. What do you want to talk about? What do you want?
I don't know at this point. The blackmail. Oh man, whatever blackmail you got. At least that's what I heard. But no, I've been playing a game recently called XCOM, War of the Chosen. Holy shit, did they ramp up the difficulty on that. Previously in XCOM games, or XCOM 2 to be more precise, you would have a time limit on everything, but you could get everything done. But take that and, you could encounter like 3 enemies and things at one time or another. But, what do you want to call it? But for the most part, it was an okay kind of aesthetic. But compared to XCOM 1, where you could just like march up, Overwatch, so that your people would basically have a firing squad ready to go to kill anything that moved at you. You can't do that in this game. You have a time limit. However, in War of the Chosen, they put that on you, but they also throw at you like 10 times as more enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I have lost so many people in normal mode. I am so pissed.
So, I haven't played XCOM ever, but
you are dead to me now.
Oh no!
I'm kidding.
End of podcast. No,
end of podcast. Yes, we're done. We're done.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of movies, TV shows, video games that are very popular that I just haven't gotten around to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an ongoing, almost like meme between my friends.
I was gonna say process.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, you haven't seen blank or you haven't played blank, which is a very popular game or movie or TV show. It's like, no, I haven't gotten around to it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played XCOM, but I have a friend of ours who has played XCOM and XCOM 2, who has entered our names as the characters and has created like relationships between them.
Yep.
And it's like one of the best ones was like, my wife, you did this, and his wife, you became this class.
Exactly.
And did this.
Yes.
So and so did this, and then it's like, and then Crash, you died
in this mission, but your wife is living.
You're a high-level private. You still haven't become like a class level yet.
Jesus Christ!
You haven't finished your bachelor's degree.
You haven't become a squatty yet? Are you kidding me?
It's like I'm a high-level just fighter.
You're still a rookie. Oh my god!
It's like that sounds like me.
Yeah, I've started doing that too. Like I made, if anybody goes look at my tweets, Twitter at Zorn32 is my tag name. But anyway, besides
not an
that,
ad. No, totally an ad.
No, I'm not plugging my channel.
So hot.
I'm not plugging my channel in my channel. I mean, you can see me holding up, my 40-ounce or my 1 liter of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire in a recent post because I got drunk last night.
I think I had a third of Jaeger.
Oh no, man!
Jaeger bottle, and I finished it, and then had to take 2 shots of New Amsterdam
gin. So we are. I am definitely tipsy.
I'm in fucking outer space right now.
Yeah.
I'm so far beyond Mars.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
the
gone.
funny part is, I'm pretty
system.
sure you have stopped. You're gonna stop drinking, right?
I'm drinking water. I'm eating
Good.
Sweet, awesome, delicious snacks from Nature Box.
From Nature Box, yes, that's a great thing. Not sponsored. No hashtag.
I've had a peanut butter nom nom.
Oh, you actually have that? I'm curious. It's
very tasty, and it's all natural.
Right, and that's the thing. I've been looking into getting Nature Box, and I'm still deciding to pull the trigger.
You should pull the trigger. It's
Is it really that good?
They change. Well, it's different. That's the thing. It's different. If you can, here's the thing. Do you like spicy?
I'm okay with spice.
Get the sriracha coated cashews. That's the best fucking.
I
thing
don't
on
like
the menu.
cashews, however.
Oh no, Zorn! Why you do this to me?
Because I do a lot of things that are not like people. I mean, I actually when I was over in Scotland, I literally had haggis. And I fucking loved it. It was so good. The texture was like extremely different. Don't get me wrong, but haggis. Oh my god, the gravy they put it in, fucking fantastic, man.
That sounds good. So my wife and I, we honeymooned in Ireland for 8 days.
Aye, yeah, honeymoon in Ireland, there, lassie. Aye.
Oh my god. Here's the thing. So
and it was probably Scottish.
Photography in Ireland on a clear day
is amazing, isn't it?
Is like turning on fucking cheat codes.
I know.
Holy shit! We went to
I lived in Ireland for 4 months. I know.
The Cliffs of Moher are so fucking beautiful.
I know, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh my god! And then we went to, and it's so fun. It's so funny. We drive down the street.
Did you get to go to the King's
Row?
Row?
Oh look, here's this like 2,500-year-old abbey that's just sitting on the side of the road.
And they let people. And the beautiful part is they let people into it.
Well, we went there and we viewed it and we read the inscription on the placard they had there, and there were other people there that were from the neighborhood that were like having a fucking barbecue. Their kids were playing with a Nerf,
and it's
Nerf
amazing.
Football in the ruins of an abbey.
I know. I've got some.
Older than America. This is older than the country we live in.
I know.
And these kids are just romping about without a care in the world.
But kicking a ball into it, it's like amazing. Yeah.
It was so beautiful. We went to the Castle Trim, which is where they filmed a lot of Braveheart. We took a lot of pictures there.
You'll love this. Speaking of Braveheart and stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have actually worn the kilt that they used in Braveheart for Mel Gibson. The kilt he wore, I have worn it with only underwear on. I didn't want to take off my shorts, but I did take off my actual pants and everything, and got naked in front of a bunch, pretty much as naked as I wanted to, in front of a bunch of random people and shit. I actually wore the Braveheart kilt with
awesome.
With the guys that worked on the movie.
So it was really cool. We went to the Castle Trim in Ireland, and they said like we built up certain walls and camps and filmed from this certain angle. It was this way. It was like this location, and then we filmed from another location. It was from this way. So like spoilers once again, if you haven't seen Braveheart, when the sun
for the first time, because we're fucking doing this on a podcast now, not the actual.
When the sun is thrown out the window, he's thrown out a window on one side, and he lands on the ground on a 90-degree angle, like if he's thrown out the north side, he lands on the east side.
Right.
Amidst all of the background of the encampment that they built around the Castle Trim before the movie, back in whatever it was, 1998 or whatever. It was really cool. God, Ireland was such a beautiful place.
Yes.
I love that we have this in common, that we can talk about this.
I visited there 3 times in my life.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Because like I said, it's cheat codes for...
Yes, it is.
For beautiful pictures. If you can get to Ireland on a clear day, we went to, like I said, the Cliffs of Moher. And on the way there, you go through an area called the Burren. and it's a mountainous kind of range, but it's all limestone, and the limestone.
Well, that's Ireland to a T, is just limestone basically.
True.
Dirt on top of limestone, but that's just
throughout all the centuries of rain, it's cut these deep crevices.
Exactly.
And so these pictures are just fucking phenomenal on a clear day with these blue skies and the gray, not green, not white, gray. Oh wait, are you recording or am I recording?
I'm recording. Don't worry.
Just making sure, because I hit the spacebar by accident.
that could be why we lost the 20 minutes of footage on the Google Feud video.
Shut up! All of the gray, and you can see all of the definition and the photography.
Oh, yeah.
I want to send you some pictures so that we can do some overlay. It's fucking beautiful. Oh my god!
Send it to me in the footage that you're gonna send me.
Our honeymoon was just. I cannot say enough good things about Ireland.
We
went and visited Northern Ireland. It's not part of Ireland.
No, it's not. I lived in Northern Ireland for 4 months,
Nice.
out of a year. That, most people can't say they've lived in a foreign country for a number of months. I actually did that for my very last semester of college before I graduated.
And visit the Titanic museum that is.
Yes, I actually got to stand on the dry dock of where the Titanic was built.
And the thing is,
the Titanic studio, studio where they film Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
Yes, the Titanic studio right behind there is where they film Game of Thrones. And the best part is, I went, the King's Road in Game of Thrones?
Okay, so
I have actually stood in those woods.
From the movie, from the TV show.
The TV show. It's not a movie yet, but I got.
Well, I've read the first book and a half.
Okay, but basically for the TV show, they go to a lot of the places they shot in Ireland. I have literally stood on the shores or something of the Game of Thrones, and seen like the actual filming set and everything, like the King's Row with all those intertwining branches of trees and everything. I have literally stood in the middle of that and went, I'm literally standing right here, and went, holy shit, this is amazing.
So cool.
I think it's also called like the dark.
It's so cool to be able to be personally in such a culturally not insignificant, opposite, significant, a culturally significant
place
area
that everybody would know, but nobody has been. Not many people have been to.
So we went to places in Ireland that was like, hey, here's this druid. Brighton, what was it? You got to help me. What was the tomb called that we viewed after the Cliffs of Moher?
Have her shout so we can hear it.
It was not Passage. What was the other one? The Passage tombs were in Newgrange. I can't remember what it's called, but it was called not a passage tomb, but it was a tomb that was older than older than Stonehenge. It was like 5,000 years old. It was like an ancient druidic temple, burial site that we just got to wander around in, and it was so weird. It was like a little placard off the side of the road that we were driving by, and we were like, hey, look at this cool thing. Let's stop and take a look around. And it was all, once again,
you rented a car there?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you are a brave soul.
I drive a Mazda 3, which is a stick shift car.
Okay, I used to drive a PT Cruiser that was a stick shift.
It was so weird to learn. Okay, I have a story.
All right.
So weird to learn stick shift on the other side of the car. Because you sit on the right side of the car, you drive on the left side of the highway.
I never thought about this. You're right. Yeah, that would be weird.
So therefore, instead of shifting with your right hand, like in America, you shift with your left hand.
Fuck yeah.
And so one of the things that our rental car supervisor, I don't know what to call him, his guy, he said, hey,
agent.
Perfect. This is your first time in Ireland. You need to stay away from downtown Ireland. And we went, perfect. Downtown Dublin,
Dublin, yeah.
So we went driving around. We took the quote-unquote newbie.
Real quick. Did you visit Guinness?
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
So we quote-unquote did the newbie roundabout, the road rage, where we looped around the rental car park in Dublin a couple of times, and then we got into the roundabout. Now, I love roundabouts. We live in an area which actually has a roundabout near our house. I'm a huge fan of roundabouts.
Okay.
As opposed to
A four-way stop, basically.
Thank you. That's the thing I'm
You're
talking
welcome.
about. I'm a huge fan of roundabouts as opposed to four-way stops.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to a four-way stop, and the guy warned us beforehand, whatever you do, oh no, I've hit another button.
Look right.
No, whatever you do, don't go into downtown Dublin. This is your first day driving on the left side of the road, shifting with the left hand, etc.
Exactly, where you're used to
So
shifting to
here's
the right
the thing:
hand.
there's one thing that's amazing about Ireland highways, and one thing that sucks. The one thing that's amazing is they give like a countdown on the side of the road. When you're driving on the left-hand side, there's like 3 triangles, and then 2 triangles, and then 1 triangle, and there's your exit. It's amazing.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
countdown. The problem is that all of the directions are not the exit number. It's you are exiting towards this road.
Right.
And so we took the first exit towards this road because that's what our Google Maps, which we printed off for our honeymoon, said you should take an exit towards this road. So we took that exit, and then we followed. He said you should take the 3rd exit in the roundabout, which we did. We took one exit too soon off the highway. So which means when we took the exit off the roundabout, we shot into
downtown Dublin.
There you go. We were in the heart of fucking downtown Dublin on the first fucking day in Ireland. I was like, ah! And here's the thing: is that the stoplights are all pillars on the side of the road, not above the road.
Yep.
And I'm driving with a left-hand shift, which I'm used to stick.
God damn it, first it's the crash, now I'm running out of fuel. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it's just not a good day this week or last week. So you know what? Give me a second. I'll get your podcast back on for you.
Shift. I'm using the left-hand shift. On
But
the
using it, you're not.
side of the
Are you
road.
right-handed, right?
So we drove through town. We did the exact opposite thing this guy told us to. We drove through downtown Dublin the first day. Within the first 30 minutes of us having this fucking car.
Oh god.
But we didn't crash into any bicycles. We didn't. I think I may have run a red light.
Oh no.
But nobody pulled
But
us
you
over.
did get pulled over, so you're
Somehow
okay.
got back to the roundabout where we initially started from, and we looped around a couple of times. Here's the thing, and we work as a great team. I
would hope so, as you're married.
Exactly. I'm a horrible navigator, but I'm a good driver. I'm a safe driver.
Right.
My wife is a great navigator. So she had our Google directions that she had printed off beforehand, our directions that she had on her phone, and like she had a local map that she had gotten from the airport that she was looking at. So she had like like 3 different areas that she was looking at. She's like, you should go here, you should go here. And I was like, as long as you direct me, I won't crash into a fucking cobblestone wall on the side.
Or go off the bridge into the Dublin River.
Exactly. So after we looped through downtown Dublin, which is apparently hell on earth, we made it back to our roundabout where we started from, and we went, okay, we're gonna get back on the Ireland Highway, whatever it was, M5, and we went the way we were supposed to go, and we took not the first exit but the second exit, because all of their exits are not labeled exit number 1 or exit number 96B. It's the exit towards like Bob's Road. Like it's all named after the area that you're going to. And we didn't know if we were going towards Bob's Road. We were going to whatever, hotel that we had rented through. Was it Groupon? It was Groupon that we had made this vacation through, our honeymoon, and we wound up going through all of this stuff, and we made it the way the second time. And my God, all of the abbeys and old castles that we stayed at that were turned into upper class hotels were fucking beautiful. Like I said earlier before, Ireland on a clear day is cheat codes for photography. I can't think of a single day that we had there that was like meh. Like everything was. I can't wait to visit it again. It was such an amazing adventure.
It is.
We went to Castle Trim, which is where they filmed a lot of Braveheart. We went to, what was the other castle where they had the the fucking all of the mead and the service. What was it, Castle? You remember what I'm talking about? We went to this place and they found out that we were a newlywed couple, and there was a special drink that was made in that area that was a heart clasped with two hands on either side that they gave to us. That was, it was like cubic zirconium or plastic, but it was still like a cool item that we got because we were newly married. Yep. And they also said that like on the wedding night, like the wedding couple got mead. They gave us like a pitcher full of mead. Brighton drank. I think I had one glass. Brighton drank the rest of it because Brighton loves mead.
Hey, she's a real lassie.
Eat it, yeah. She's a real lassie. And
she's gonna kill me for that one.
No, it was an amazing experience, and we went to an old abbey that was oh my god, I can't say enough good things about our trip to Ireland for our honeymoon. It was, and here's the thing. So I'm from Mississippi, and we are known as the quote-unquote hospitality state. Ireland, in general, even stuff that we went to as restaurants, were like equal to, if not above, our level of hospitality. They are like the hospitality country. It was so amazing. We stayed in this one place where we got massages. It was like, there's nothing to do kind of locally. It was my first time I had a massage. And oh wait, side story.
Oh boy.
So I have my ankles are fucked up. Since 8th grade or 7th grade, they've cracked. They crack like if I were to lay down and crack them, they would sound like an old weathered ship on the seas.
No, I know that
like
feeling.
An old wooden like a roller coaster chain pulling you up the rest of the hill. They crack really bad.
Yeah.
And
that's my ankles.
We were staying at our third place on our honeymoon, and I said we got a massage, and I told my masseuse, who is this wonderful kind of like small statured Irish lady, I was like, my ankles crack really bad, so let me stretch them out before you get, because I was like, I carry all of my stress in my shoulders and my calves, and I was like, before you get my calves, let me crack my ankles. She was like, okay. So I cracked my ankles, and we're in this private room with a high ceiling with this music going on, and you hear this like I said, like a chain pulling a roller coaster up a hill. It's that loud, it's that distinct. And she went in very Irish accent, oh dear.
Oi, touch it, oh there, laddie. What the hell you been doing with your life?
I told her, and she just wasn't expecting that. And I was like, okay, now that I've kind of like popped the pressure out of my ankles, you can massage my calves and stuff. It was delectable. And oh wait, small story once again.
That's a pretty damn nice long story.
I got a massage. At the end of it, we had afternoon tea and cakes. There were like these sandwiches that were kind of like on this like kind of pewtered or silver tiered thing that were brought out to us, and we had this never-ending pot of tea. We poured like 8 cups of tea.
They like their tea over there.
So we had this tea and cakes. So we went to supper, which was the supper that was just kind of built into this. Like I said, all of these places that we stayed were these old like castles that were built into 4- and 5-star hotels. It was magical. It was amazing. We ate at a restaurant that was on site at this castle. This is our third stop. So the day before, we went to the Cliffs of Moher, which are beautiful. I cannot say enough good things about the Cliffs of Moher. They are mystical and magical. They are.
Did you get close to the edge?
Yes, I did. I dangled my legs off and had to take a picture.
Here's what I did, real quick.
Go ahead.
Just so I get my story in there real quick with the Cliffs of Moher. I literally laid down with my head, like, right on the edge kind of deal, and literally raised my phone above me and took a selfie right there, just like looking down over the cliffs. So it's like, holy shit.
On a pretty clear day, right?
No, I was on the absolute clearest day you could do for the Cliffs of Moher.
Since here's the thing. I'm from Mississippi, so I have the Gulf of Mexico to compare large bodies of water to, which the Gulf of Mississippi is, with Dauphin Island and then Katrina happening in 2005, we have a very green, murky, stirred up kind of coast.
Yeah.
This was the bluest blue.
Exactly. I was like,
blue.
holy shit.
That matched the sky. It was beautiful.
I lived in Michigan for 22 years of my life. The closest
Were you
ever
north enough to hit the Great Lakes?
That's where I'm going. I would go on road trips numerous times during the year to go hunting and stuff, and we would always go on the road that went by the Great Lakes, and just seeing those and being like, that looked like the ocean to me at that time. I never realized how different it actually is to be near a large fresh body of water compared to a large salt body of water. I've seen cargo ships travel on the Great Lakes repeatedly, but in all honesty, it looks the same. Don't get me wrong, but the difference in color is amazing. The sea is a lot bluer than the actual Great Lakes are.
Of course, you have the difference in depth, and as well as the difference in a lot of other. I'm just trying so hard to talk. No, like I said, this is post our.
This is post Google Feud drunk shit, and we thought we'd just do this for shits and giggles.
Absolute failure that we had.
Oh god. I'm recording it this time, so it won't be bad.
Like I said, especially for us, because we have the Mississippi and Alabama coast in the Gulf of Mexico, which is very, like I said, a lot of the sediment from the Mississippi River is stirred up, so it's very green. It's very murky.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to kind of Florida area, when you get to kind of that Bay area in Miami and Orlando and stuff like that, you get more of a blue. And we've been to Tybee Island, which is in Georgia, which is on the actually Atlantic coast. Atlantic coast, excuse me, is very blue. Going to the Cliffs of Moher on a clear day is I can't describe it. It was
amazing, wasn't it? Because you're so high up, yet you look down and you go, "Oh my god, it is the bluest I've ever seen on a body of water."
The landscape, I think we took about 1,800 to 2,000 pictures on an entire honeymoon. I probably took 2/3 of that just at the Cliffs of Moher. Just going to different sides. It's so beautiful. I cannot say enough good things. And then, like I said, we entered. Do you remember the name? My wife is here in the room, but she's off to the side.
We've heard her talk earlier than this.
The name of the druidic tomb that we went to on the side afterwards. You can't look it up. So she's gonna look it up.
We can actually use the internet now.
It's true. It's 5,000 years old. It predates Stonehenge.
You're right.
It predates the pyramids in Egypt. It's this passage, or not passage tomb. It's a passage tomb that it's like a slab of rock laid on top of 2 vertical slabs to make a table, and underneath that is where these ancient druids got buried, and it's all limestone. So when you're walking around, you kind of, and like I said, it's off the side of the road. There's
there's a sign saying, "Hey, here, come stop by this." That's just a fucking road sign. What the hell?
It is called the Pollenbrunn Dolem. According to Wikipedia, it is estimated between, it was erected between 4,000 and 3,000 BC.
Holy shit.
We also went to the Brunneboyne, which is this connection between these 2 rivers, which has these passage tombs that were built by these ancient civilizations that we got to not only experience from the outside, but one of them we got to go inside. And once again, these things predate the pyramids at Giza. These things are 4,000 or 5,000 years old.
Right.
And it's so incredible to view. Once again, this is all coming from America.
Right.
The Eddie Izzard bit is oh, this is this church that was built 50 years ago. No one was alive then,
Right, and you go to Ireland where it's over 3,000 years old.
No, 5,000 years old. This is
I was just throwing 3,000 out there.
This is before the existence of
America.
Yeah, it's mind numbing, and you walk in
and you love it.
There,
and people
mystic.
And the people wonder over there why it's why are these tourists doing this? We don't have that here.
Oh, we did that a lot where we showed up and we were like, "Excuse me." We showed up at a gas station. We were like, "We're stupid Americans." That was our opening line. We're stupid Americans. How do you get to blank blank blank?
Oh, have I? Okay.
And we did the math.
So I gotta.
We did the math. Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is right now, but living in Mississippi, the Gulf Coast, the southeastern United States. We have, what is our gas? Our unleaded is like about $2 a gallon.
Oh, I know where this is going, but yeah, go ahead for the fans.
Ireland, I did the math not only from liter to gallon, but also euro to dollar. It was about $7 to $7.50 per gallon.
I know. I'm never going to complain about $4 gas again.
Y'all, $4? Oh no, that was like our Katrina amount. We were like, oh, $4, back like 10
well, that was
years
during the recession time. I started driving during then. I was used to paying 4 gallons.
No,
or $4 a gallon. I'm never going
to
complain about that shit again, having seen those prices over there for liters.
When Katrina hit the coast, when I was entering my senior year of high school, and being like, $3.50 per gallon, $4 per gallon.
This sucks.
And now that's like some places still have that, and we're so fortunate to have like $2 a gallon.
I am too. It's getting up there. Have you heard? Speaking of that, have you heard what's happened in just like in Texas in general with all the whole?
Oh my God, yeah, that's so bad. That's honestly.
I've seen pictures.
My mom has been diagnosed not once, but twice with cancer. The first one was with thyroid cancer, which sucks because that's right in the throat, so that's a lot of vocal cord type stuff. She's lost a little bit of her voice. She can still speak. The second one was more of in her shoulder. She's gone to MD Anderson, which is located in Houston, Texas.
Oh no.
She went. What day is it? Right now, I'm going to date this.
It is
11 o'clock at September 2nd.
Right.
So about a week ago is when, what is the hurricane's name? Franklin? Harvey. Harvey hit Houston. And a lot of other places in Texas really, really bad.
Right, but Houston got hit.
Fortunately, this is very much a personal, joyous occasion. She went a week before to do her, biannual checkup.
Oh, Jesus.
And MD Anderson, which is a leading global cancer research center that she's been going to for years. Thank God they have helped her so much. Now has water in it. That I feel so bad for these people.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with that happened in New Orleans and Gulfport and Biloxi. Because like I said, I'm from Mississippi, so a lot of the people we had people that were dislocated kind of their senior year of high school in 2005 to 2006 that wound up coming to my place. I'm originally from Jackson, so that's central Mississippi. Mississippi. She's not married. She's Miss Mississippi. We had
Please,
a couple.
Dear God, tell me that's not a joke.
I don't know. I'm just making shit up as we go. We had a couple of students that were dislocated, relocated from the coast to our school for either a semester or the full year, and they wound up graduating from our school. And this is honestly, it's the same level, and I feel so bad, but But yet, so fortunate that my mom and my dad, they both traveled together, were able to go the week before this hurricane hit and get the diagnostics and the kind of biannual checkup.
And got out of there before shit hit the fan.
Exactly, but I feel so bad for the people that are stuck there, and also for the hospital that is there, because, like I said, they have so much advanced technology in the field of cancer research. They're very specific in that kind of thing. They do a lot of what is it called? It's photon. What is it called? Chemotherapy.
Okay.
Which is much more direct. Instead of just kind of burning the whole area, they're able to burn a much more
defined area kind of deal.
Exactly, and that's what she was able to get the second time.
Okay.
I feel so bad for those people there and for the people that work in that center, and honestly, the place there in Houston, the MD Anderson place, it's the size of a city. It's huge, several blocks. Because I went there and visited in 2003 around Christmas. Me and my younger brother went there to visit my mom when she first had her chemotherapy and surgery and stuff like that. Before my wife and I got married in April of 2014, so it was very, very close to that time. And it's just, like I said, it's phenomenal. It's so big. My younger brother and I actually got lost inside of MD Anderson, just inside of the facility.
I believe it, yeah.
We had to look at maps that were posted beside the elevators to figure out, one, where our car was so that we could get cables to charge our phones, and two, where we were going. Because we kind of like, okay, mom's out of surgery, she's resting. There's like this kind of recreational center that had like video games and stuff like that we were kind of hanging out at until she woke up, until we could move her and my dad into an apartment.
Right.
And all that kind of stuff. And we got lost inside of MD Anderson. It was like an epic like D&D tale where how we like navigated.
But trudging, we have trudged through every level of this hospital and still haven't found our way out.
Exactly.
I have been fighting so many nurses.
We found the garage. We found my cars. But how do we get back to where my mom's room is? Like it was amazing. But I cannot. I don't know how much damage they took and how much flooding they got, but it's been such a godsend. It's been such a gift that they've been able to do so much for my mom, for my family, and that they're going through so much troubled times. So I really feel for them right now. That's kind of like a personal thing.
Right. So just to throw it out there, even though I'm not sponsored or anything, if you can do anything, there are a bunch of organizations donating to the Red Cross Rooster Teeth, which we are both fans of numerous times over. One of the groups that are donating to the Houston relief effort. If you want to find it, go on their website. They have numerous links of where to go. You can watch their channels or their videos and stuff to donate if you really feel like it. If you don't, that's fine. I'm not going to push you or anything.
Well, once again, this is apparently as bad as it was like 12 years ago.
With Katrina, yeah.
Exactly.
But what I was getting at is like just the whole of Texas. Everybody suddenly went on like a gas buying spree where they would literally take like 55-gallon drums or like trash cans and stuff like that and just fill it up with gas. And gas stations were literally running out of gas, and nobody like in Austin, Texas, would.
Where we had cars that were lined up around the block, if not more blocks, trying to get gas at price gouging prices of like $6-7 a gallon. I remember, so it hit on a weekend, and I remember I was at a friend's house. This is our senior year of high school. I was at a friend's house on a Sunday night, and we were watching reporters down at the Gulf Coast while rolling in, and we were like, wow, this looks really serious. And we both looked at each other like, we should fill up on gas right now. And both of us went that night before Katrina like got enough inland to hit Biloxi, Hattiesburg, and then eventually where we lived at the time, Jackson, Mississippi. That we went out and got gas before the price gouging happened, before the panic set in. And so we were like commodities at that point. Like I remember the other thing is that you
could have sold that gas out of your car from a premium. I would have guaranteed it.
My mom, this is another excellently fortunate thing. My mom and my grandmother own a toy store slash what do you call it?
I don't know. What do I call it?
Stationery store. They do like wedding invitations, stuff like that.
Sell toys?
That is, well, they sell toys to infants, which is a very small demographic. So
they sell like stuffed animals and stuff, I'm guessing, kind of deal.
Exactly,
almost.
Little toys like that, Thomas the Tank Engine, stuff like that.
Ooh,
so they happen to be on the same power grid as one of our hospitals, which of course
has its own backup generator kind of deal.
So they got kicked on like within hours of Katrina hitting us. And when Katrina hit, like if you think about how far inland Jackson, Mississippi is from the coast and from New Orleans and all that kind of stuff, we're like 200 miles inland. And we had like 67 miles an hour winds. Like in our neighborhood, we had trees down. We were without power. And this is like, oh, woohoo. We were without power for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And we were 200 miles inland. My wife was in a little bit more rural. It's built up by now. How long were y'all without power? Like 2 or 3 weeks. They were in a little bit more rural. It's been built up since then.
So at that point, did you just eat whatever you could out of like the fridge and stuff and just say fuck it?
Not so much that. It's that the other thing is we're in the South. In the summer, we're in Mississippi. Air conditioning is king. Like
I didn't even think of that.
I've talked about this jokingly, but also very seriously, that the levels of the greatest inventions by mankind, the wheel is number 2 compared to the air conditioner. Like,
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
People that lived before like ice boxes and like central air and stuff like that in Mississippi. Holy shit, it's so humid and hot here. And once again, we were so fortunate that like I said, my mother and my grandmother own a store that is on the same power grid as one of the big
Hospitals, yeah. So they had the air conditioning going, didn't they?
I would go there and hang out and just play like whatever, like board games and video games on Game Boy, just to kind of pass the time.
Right.
Like I wasn't. This is my senior year. I wasn't in school at the time. And the other thing is, I went to. So you were talking earlier about nerd camp. How I calculus 1 and 2 for fun.
We may have lost that.
Because I'm a math nerd. Well, here we go again.
We may have lost that. The whole band thing.
I changed majors from theater to music when I was in high school or in college, and I had AP credits from theater. Oh no, I can't fucking talk. I had AP credits from calculus and from physics my senior year. So if I had stayed solely in an arts career or arts bachelor,
right,
I wouldn't have to take math. But after my first year, my sophomore year, I was bored and I took calculus 1 and 2 for fun before I declared a math major. So rehashing that uber nerdiness. I remember, like I said, I went to a thing called governor's school, which is between your 11th and 12th grade year, and it's a bunch of people from around the state. So a bunch of people from around these different schools around Mississippi that are all in 11th and 12th grade.
All right.
And it was honestly like living at college for 3 weeks. I was in a dorm. I had a roommate. I had to get myself to breakfast and lunch and dinner and class on time. Like I was responsible for myself for 3 weeks, and it was a blast. But actually, some of those people wound up relocating from the coast, from Biloxi and Gulfport and other things like that, to Jackson Prep. A couple of them for like a little bit of time, and then they moved back. But actually, one or maybe two of them finished out their senior year in Jackson, Mississippi. Like I said, we're like about 180, 200 miles inland from where Katrina hit, from the coast, from the Gulf Coast. And like I said, it's about that same level, that duplication in Houston right now, and a lot of the other outlying, like it's just, it's rough.
Yeah. As someone
welcome to the Downer podcast.
Yeah, or at least the downer part of it. As someone who's never been through a hurricane per se.
You're pretty far north to hit a hurricane.
Yeah, I'm extremely far north, and I'm extremely inland now. We've gotten bad snowstorms because of lake effect and things like that. I've lived through that kind of shit where we dump like 3 feet of snow overnight.
We haven't had snowstorms, but we've had freeze outs where, so once again, Mississippi, we are near the Gulf Coast. We have a high humidity, and so when we actually dip below freezing, everything freezes. Like I remember
that would I would see
my
that.
parents telling me it was either the year I was born.
Those are ice days for us.
It was like shit was frozen, and it was like they had to move out of their house to like a motel for 2 weeks because everything was frozen. I'm talking like power lines, gas lines, cable lines, they had to move out of their house for 2 weeks.
I'm guaranteeing you guys didn't bury it deep enough in the ground that you got below the permafrost line.
But we're not ready for that shit. So when we have snow, like that's when people like up north, like where you are, they laugh like, "Ha ha!
You got an inch of snow. Shit, we drive on that, regularly."
Yeah, exactly. You have an inch of snow.
My tires are made for that shit. I go joyriding in that stuff. I go to work and I'm drifting along the side of the road, going, "Fuck yeah, man!"
For us, an inch of snow is like schools are closed, businesses are closed, don't get on the interstate.
Everybody stay off the road. Just stop.
We're in a climate, we're not prepared for that. We have like 2 salt trucks for the entire Metro Jackson area
That's more than most things.
Spread salt on the interstates. Like we're not ready for that. That doesn't happen.
We look at that and go,
that's
just a dusting. We'll be in work at
well, and then you say like I had my first roommate that I did potluck. My first roommate in college, he was from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh my God.
And he's talked about having feet, plural, of snow.
Yep, from Michigan. I can guarantee we've had feet of snow.
The first winter we had in Jackson, we didn't have snow. We didn't. But we got cold.
That amazes
me. I remember him. I distinctly remember this. He walked in, he was so bundled up, and he was like, "I've lived in Cleveland my entire life. we've had feet of snow. I've never felt a cold like this. I was like, that's because it's 38 degrees outside and 90% humidity.
God.
It is chilling you to the bone. It is getting through every layer that you have to put on. You
Oh.
are fucked beyond
You
belief.
wanna hear
You
something
gotta
bad?
run from glass to glass. There's no way. Like I'm the fucking psycho that was walking around in 38 degree weather with 80 to 90% humidity in gym shorts, flip flops, and just like,
That's
oh,
just-
I'll
that-
throw,
that's
I'll
just
throw
the-
on a hoodie.
That's just a normal day in Michigan at that point.
Well, like I
No,
said, it's
um,
humidity that was like I said, that moisture
yeah.
gets to your bones. And the same thing when it's hot, it's like, oh, it's not hot. It's only 89 degrees.
Hey,
It's
yeah,
not
exactly.
hot. We're on the triple digit. I was like, motherfucker, it is 100 degrees outside. You walk outside and you are breathing soup. You can't sweat. You can't.
It's all them goddamn swamps down there. Get the
When
swamp
you
gators out of there.
When you sweat, you're not cooling yourself off. There's no evaporation. There's no cooling. You're just adding
it
moisture
sticks to
the
you.
air. Yeah, it's just sticky, hot. Bleh.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not
gross.
a dry heat.
It's
It's
a
a wet
very
heat.
unique-
It's like
it's
somebody
a-
breathing on you.
But it's year round. Like I said, like even when you
Oh,
get to cold.
God.
Like I said, I had a friend, roommate that I lived roomed with for a year from Cleveland that had lived in feet of snow. He was like, I've never felt a bone-chilling cold like that. So I was like, it's the fucking humidity. We may only be in the 40s, but we're 90% humidity. You gotta fucking deal with it.
No,
It's cold.
I can
It's
understand
wet.
that. This last year, what do you want to call it? I got to some of the coldest temperatures I've ever experienced in my life. I
Yeah.
was into degrees of minus 20 degrees
And that's-
Fahrenheit.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine that.
And we're not talking about a lot of snow per se, but it was just like minus 20, minus 23, minus, whatever. And that's below the freezing point. We're into the minus category of Fahrenheit.
I've never experienced lower than
It-
like 20
and
Fahrenheit. I can't imagine
All I would do
minus Fahrenheit.
The best part is all I would do to bundle up for that was literally throw on a sweatshirt and a coat. That was all I would throw on in the morning, and then just crank the heat in my car as I drove to work.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
all I would do.
You just gotta. I mean, it was the same thing. Like I said, when I was in college and stuff would freeze over, and you just run from class to class. You just gotta hoof it, or hope that somebody who has a car comes along and they're like, "Hey!" And you throw out your thumb and you hitchhike with them to the Center for the Arts for Theater and Music, which was
Oh, there you go.
separated from the campus by like 3 blocks.
Yeah.
Um,
I had no such luck with that when I went to college. I literally would bike everywhere on campus.
where did you go to college?
I went to Michigan State University.
So is that a
OMSU.
relative? Is that a state college? Is that a relatively big college?
That is
I don't-
that is a university that is basically started on agriculture,
Mhm.
but founded more. But yeah, we got it's a sprawling campus. We got everything from law school to animal science. Hey, how you doing? I'm
See,
an
I
animal
went
science
to
major.
a college, now a university, known as Belhaven. And if you want to look that up, it has maybe 2,000 students.
Okay,
It's a-
you
is it
want to
pri-
know? We had
It is a
four-
private
per-
Christian inner city college. And so
You'll find
there were,
it.
there were pros and cons about that. One thing that was amazing is when I was a theater major, and once I changed majors from theater to percussion, once to shed some light on this, I am the second percussion major to ever graduate from Belhaven,
Oh
which
shit!
means that
Oh,
yes,
I
it's
got
a
story for
very
you then.
very small community, and the music community is rather large. But once again, the percussion community, or percussion class rather, major
Mhm.
is growing a little bit. But that being said,
Well, yeah. Have you seen
one of the
Jacksepticeye
negatives-
with his drums? Jesus, I'm not surprised.
one of the negatives behind that is, of course, you don't have as many people, and you got to deal with the teachers or auxiliary percussion that I dealt with. But my auxiliary percussion teacher was phenomenal. And the other thing about
That's
that,
a
the
plus.
positive thing about that, is that since I'm one of 2 percussion majors, I got to do everything. I didn't have to wait till I was a senior and well-read or well-spoken. I got to be in jazz ensemble, marching band,
Nice.
orchestra, all at the same time that I was doing choir, and then all of my math degrees as well, where I was doing like statistics and abstract algebra and shit like that. Like
Shit.
I got so much, and the other thing is I got into composition heavy into composition. I was a composition major. I actually roomed with the guy for like several years that was a composition major. I get into the composers forum and wrote. I was like, I don't know how a string quartet works. 4 strings quartet. There's violin, viola, cello, and bass. That's a quartet.
Yep.
No, standard quartet is 2 violins, viola, and cello. I didn't know that, but I wrote a quartet for violin, viola, cello, and bass, and it wound up like I wrote that and talked with them. I was like, so they were like, what bowing do you want? I was like, I don't fucking know. Just play the fucking notes. They were like, but you have to have the certain bowing. I was like, I don't know this. And so I actually learned a lot through doing composers forum and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you probably mentioned before, and I've mentioned before, just diving in head first into the deep end of like, I don't know.
That's how video editing is for me right now. Is I just dove into it. Just like I know some things from my dad because he's a video editor, but I've never actually sat down and done it myself. Fuck it, I'm doing it. Let's try it. And I've done some amazing things I never thought I could do.
I don't know anything about strings and all of the nuance behind this, like bowing and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so I had to ask them, like, what do you normally do? And that was a learning experience. I wrote something that was originally for viola and piano, and the guy that played piano said piano has 88 strings, viola has 4, and it's a secondary instrument. It's more of a backup instrument to the violins in an orchestral arrangement.
Right.
It's not going to punch through as much. And I was like, well, I wrote this for a lower register because I like lower tones. I listen to a lot of metal. I like drop tuned and like lower stuff.
You like the bass.
I own a 7-string guitar.
I own a 4-string bass.
I own a 5-string bass. I played bass before I played drums. I like a lot of the lower tuned stuff, which is why I
played tuba for 8 years, so yeah.
Which is why I listen to a lot of not only metal but also a lot of orchestra because it's got a lot of fuller lower tones.
System of a Down.
System of a Down. I was listening to that yesterday. I was actually listening to that today.
Oh my god, I love that album.
Toxicity. You don't want to get me off on music because I could ramble for like 30 minutes.
I know.
God. Dude, I seriously am having so much fun with this.
I know, isn't it great?
I miss doing, like I said, my wife and I did entertainment stuff.
We'll have to figure out a way to get your wife on, eh?
Oh, wait, not that kind of entertainment internet stuff. But you know what I'm talking about. We did movie reviews and video game Let's Plays and stuff like that for like 4 or 5 years online. Nothing ever came of it, but it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I miss this kind of stuff. I really do. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, if you ever need me to help out with any type of editing and stuff like that, I can do that.
I may take you up on that offer actually one of these days, but we'll talk about that later when we're not recording shit and sober and feeling good.
So for all of you you beautiful motherfuckers out there that are listening right now, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yep.
I think it is close to 1 o'clock. Like I said earlier.
Holy shit.
I need to get up and sing for Jesus tomorrow.
He has to go sing in a church, so that'll be fun. But yeah.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun. I've had a blast. I really have.
It's been great. I enjoyed the hell out of this.
Kind of stuff.
Yeah. But
so if you want, you do you do the outro.
you do you, boo. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening, and as always, I hope you enjoyed the show.
Take care of yourself.
Yep, that's the end of the podcast like usual. Sorry about this stupid thing again, and just the person running this thing just doesn't know what he's doing, does he? So, y'all get out of my goddamn rig.